Jesus. Wow. Guys, it is absolutely soaking out here today. And I've got it in M dynamic mode as well. So what that does is it switches the traction control off, and it only kicks in when you're right on the limit if you really need it. Yeah, which is probably quite dangerous under these road conditions. Actually, I'm just coming up behind a van now, so that'll slow me down, which is probably is probably for the best. I was thinking about this, and I've basically come up with kind of like, this is 5 main reasons why this car is so good, in my opinion. But before I say that, probably the best compliment I can give to the car is this. So about a year ago, I managed to get my hands on and do a video with, if you haven't seen it, a brand new Porsche 911 Carrera S. Okay, it had all of the latest technology, and and it was crazy fast. It was probably the fastest car I've ever driven, partly down to how well it puts that power on the ground. It was incredible. Put in Sport Plus. Okay. Oh my. Wow. And basically, when I took it back, I got back in this. And this car still felt absolutely incredible. It was still amazing, and it still put a smile on my face, and it still made me glad that I was driving it. So that's probably the best compliment I can give the car, because this is like a fraction of the cost, and it has technology backdating to 2007. So yeah. Anyway, I'm going to find somewhere to turn around, so I'm not stuck behind this van anymore, and then I'm going to go through kind of my 5 sort of main reasons why this car is so good. Okay, so I've got a bit of clear road now. So the first thing is, like I just mentioned in the Porsche, it's how this car transfers the power to the ground. Okay, so this car has 414 brake horsepower from the factory, but it kind of puts all of that power down. You can actually use it. Jesus. Bit bumpy there. Yeah, so, and in part as well, it's the tyres. So I have the Continental Sport Contact 6s on this car. They're not run flat tyres, sorry, that come with the car as stock. But I sort of took a bit of a risk. I'd never had them before, and I absolutely love them. They are brilliant in all weather conditions, and bear in mind, it's it's absolutely soaking today. So the next thing is, the car has a lighter carbon fibre roof, so that lowers the centre of gravity. That in turn, with the sort of slightly stiffer suspension that comes on this car over the standard E92, and the fact that the car, sits a little bit lower, really makes a difference. So I've spoken about this before, but it's all these little percentages that when you add them together, you get an amazing kind of rewarding, dynamic driving experience. Jesus. I've lost my train of thought now. My God. Jesus. So, but one of the most important things for me in any car, and this is no exception in this car, because this really is good, it's the steering as well. So in a lot of cars you can Jesus, you can kind of wiggle the steering wheel a little bit and nothing really happens, whereas in this you just touch the steering wheel slightly to the left or slightly to the right and the car instantly reacts. It's literally like it's part of you, which is exactly what you want. So when you've got the steering that's so precise and so accurate, and it works, and it works so well with oh my God, Jesus, with the kind of lower centre of gravity, the sort of firmer suspension as well, and then how the car actually, how the car actually delivers its power. So in a turbocharged car, as you'll know, you will have a lot more torque and you have a lot of power straight off. You don't really have to work that hard for it. It's there straight away, Oh, Jesus, dude, you should not have pulled out of there. But I'm going past you. Yeah, sorry, that really threw me. So, yeah, the turbocharged car, you know, you've got a lot of power, a lot more torque, low down, so it kicks in straight away. Whereas this, it's kind of the opposite, really. You don't have that much power initially, and it kind of builds and builds and builds and builds all the way up to a beautiful 8,300, I think it is, 1,000 revs. It is gorgeous. It sounds incredible. The power does not fade either. It doesn't fade off. As I say, it just keeps building, and there's no fade. And it's a beautiful engine, this, the S65 engine, I think it is. And it's basically like a kind of reworked version of the V10 that was in the M5, I believe. It's such a good car. If you guys, you guys are watching this, hoping it'll get a few views. But anyone who's watching this, if you're thinking about getting one or you've always wanted one, I would seriously, don't think about it anymore. Just go out and get it if you can, because, the car's getting older now. It's going to be harder to get clean examples. And it's one of the most rewarding driving experiences you are ever going to have, I promise you, especially when you factor in for the money as well. It's an absolute bargain. Right, in an effort to try and keep this video quite short, I'm stuck behind someone else again now, which probably, it will probably save my life and save my fuel economy. I'm going to pull over in a lay-by if I can find one, and I am going to just run over a few basic costs of the car and a few negatives as well, just to be, try and be a little bit balanced, just so it's not a completely biased review of the car. So I will see you, well, for me it'll probably be about 5 minutes, but for you it'll be like 2 seconds. So I'll see you in a sec. Well, my can of Monster's run out, the battery on my GoPro has run out, and it's still raining, so good times. Anyway, I'll just get right into it. So what was the last bit I was going to talk about? It was kind of costs and negatives. So the tax is £580. I don't know whether I mentioned that in part one. I can't remember. But yeah, as I say, tax is £580 now, which is a lot of money for me. I'm only prepared to pay that because I love the car so much, to be honest. I also want to keep up the full BMW service history. So that's also expensive. I think the minor service with BMW was about £400, and the major service, unfortunately, is over £700. So, and that's if you don't need anything else doing to it. So, it's an expensive car to maintain. You'll already know this yourselves, but fuel economy as well. I'm sure you've already guessed, or you've been told by somebody else. Fuel economy is really bad. But you can't have this car and expect to get good fuel economy, I suppose. So I think the tank is about 63 litres or so, but I reckon I could empty the entire tank in about 150 miles, just thrashing around the country lanes. On the flip side to that, I would have thought that motorway driving, constant speeds, 60 miles an hour, 7th gear, I think I could probably get between 250 to 300, which I suppose isn't too bad for a 4 litre naturally aspirated V8, but I suppose how many times are you going to drive like that? I don't know. I say tyres, I mentioned it earlier on, Continental Sport Contact 6s, I think they were called anyway, but I bought them sort of 6 weeks apart. I bought the rears at Christmas and then the fronts about 6 weeks after that, and each set cost me £330, so £660 in total, which isn't too bad, because if you get some of the run flats, like, tyres, they can be like nearly £1,000 for a set, so I was quite pleased with that, to be honest. Negatives, it's only got 2 rear seats, not 3, so I don't know if that would be an issue for you. The interior is a little bit dated, especially if you compare it to some of the new BMs, but it's still a nice place to be honest, and there are things you can do to kind of jazz it up a little bit. It's got big heavy doors because it's a coupe, which, you know, if you find yourself in a tight car parking space, could be an issue. But, you know, hopefully that'll just motivate you to stay thin so you can so you can get out. Sorry, I always try and put a positive spin on bad things. What else? Seating position is a little bit high. I mean, that's something I've heard a lot of people say. You know, I would agree with that, but it's something that I've just got used to, and it doesn't really bother me now. There is probably loads I've forgotten to mention, but I need to kind of get this video done quite quickly. So I'm kind of busy at work, and I've got other projects that I need to start working on as well. So if there's anything I've forgotten, just ask in the comments, and I'll try and answer if I can. If you want to get this car, don't wait. Get it as soon as you can, really, because the tax is only going to keep going up. It's only going to get harder to get a low mileage clean example. You know, they're not making any more of these. So yeah, but you know, if you do bite the bullet and get one, you won't be disappointed, honestly. Your wallet will be disappointed and your bank balance, but you yourself will not be, because it's a phenomenal car to drive, and you know, it's a V8 M3. You know, the only one, the only M3 to have a V8. It's cool. It is a cool car. You know, so it will make you feel cool. But anyway, guys, that is it from me. I'm going to go now because thanks to this can of Monster, I am dying for the toilet. So yeah. Anyway, I'll see you later. Take care. Goodbye.